Hi, and welcome to the next lesson of the blending mode class at Hummy's World. We are, I think, on about the 28th lesson. So if you're just finding us, I recommend you finding the class guide at Hummy's World for the blending mode class and to start at the beginning to really learn hands-on more about each blending mode. If you've done all of them up to here, hallelujah, you are awesome. Life is pretty amazing when you're playing with blending modes, huh? So this blending mode lesson is on creating a dreamy image, and it's more amazingly easy than you could imagine. And so we're going to deconstruct and reconstruct. There's only really 1, 2, 3, 4 layers on this. Here is my original fall photo layer. There's looks like a picnic basket in the background, but it gets lost. And to make something dreamy, you don't even need any textures. Simply duplicate the layer, hit Control J or drag it down to the new layer icon, or right click and choose duplicate or whatever your favorite method is. And then we're going to go to the filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Now I'm going to tell you that this makes absolutely no difference. I'm going to show you. I saved the layers. Absolutely no difference how blurred you make it. This is blurred at 475. Let me see. Can I move this? Here's my samples. I have one at 475. I have one at like 160, blurred like this. I have a sample layer over here at about 80, somewhere in there. And you see how it looks over here, blurred. And I have one, the one I actually used, at about 23, it said it was. It was about this blurred. Now, down here, this might not be blurred enough. You want to at least obscure it some. And then click OK. And this is the magic, the Gaussian blur, and then the screen blending mode. Whammo. Dreamy. Doesn't it look like you're in a dream? It's that simple. And you see a lot of images with flowers that are dreamy. So if you have a subject in your photos, more importantly a person. I didn't really have a subject, but you don't sometimes want their faces, especially their eyes and their lips and some of their clothes, to be too dreamy. And so you want to take this dreaminess away from that. And so in order to do that, you add a blending mask. And remember, white reveals, black conceals. So right now it's white. Everything is being revealed. Go up and get your brush tool. Make sure your foreground color is black. And go ahead and lower that opacity way down there. No, we don't want 100% because we want to make this subtly different. And then keep rubbing. I'm going to make this leaf here come forward, and then just keep gradually. And the more you do it, the blacker that blending or that mask gets, but it does it gradually. And this isn't so important on mine with the leaf, but it is kind of important to do it very subtly and to use a soft brush when you're bringing back people from being too soft. You might want to soften them a little bit, but the edges need to be gradual out into the dreamy part, and you don't want it to be too much. I'm going to go ahead and delete this layer that I just made, and look at this layer that I do have a layer mask on this leaf, so you see this leaf remained in its original format. So you look here and it just kind of blends in with the rest of the photo. But when I make the rest dreamy and leave that one normal, it kind of jumps out at you a little bit. So you can actually play with your images in that way. And this was the one at 23%. Let me go ahead and show you. 80%, 23, 80. Well, that's what that leaf looks like without the mask. Can you see the difference? But the basic blending, there's not too much difference. So let's look at the one where I did the Gaussian Blur at 160. Really no change between 180 and 160. And what about that 475 where it was really blurred out? A little bit, but not much. Oh, I got to undo one and do the other. So there's 160 and 180. Not much difference. So that goes to show you that how much you blur it, once you get past a certain point, really doesn't have a whole lot of an effect. So here's the one we're using. I've added text, and I said, well, and does the text have any blending on it? It's normal. I wonder, I could cycle through. I wanted it readable. Normal's pretty fine. Because I want it readable, and I did grab a color out of the leaves. Out of this one over here, a red. So then I said, well, as you've heard me say with a lot of these videos, I want to kind of pull it all together. I love borders. And so here is the border I put on it. And this is actually, I'm going to change it back to normal. This is actually your texture download for this lesson. Since you don't really need a texture download to get the dreamy effect because you're using your own image, I am giving you this texture, which has this gorgeous white edge around it, and then just some general stuff out in the middle that should blend in pretty well. And when I changed it to the lighten blending mode, you see it made, let's toggle it on and off, the visibility again. It's making almost no difference on the softness. A little bit here on the edge where it's white. Now if I wanted to come in here and get my burn tool and keep it low and burn this a little bit, you know, so that it didn't do that, I could do that to this texture over here too, but I'm going to undo all that because I actually like it. I like the way it's gradually going in. So I used the lighten blending mode, and it gave me this yummy edge just like that. And then you can try, other blending modes. See, the screen made the center not very good, but might work for your image. And I'm just cycling through them. Lighter color looked pretty good because it did some dramatic changes to the color of the leaves. But you know, one of these might be perfect for you. Pen light. I almost chose pen light. I kind of liked the pen light. I don't know. But the one, of course, let's go up. Multiply. This is what it does when you multiply, and you still get that lighter edge. So that might be, depending on how dark or light your image is that you're playing with. But I chose the lighten, and there was my final image. And I love that it's dreamy and peaceful and pretty. Uh, and you can do this. This is what the photographers do when they stick people out in fields of flowers, and this is one of the steps they do to make the flowers more dreamy. And then they bring the person back in with layer masks, and they might do a little bit of color changing too. But you're welcome to use any of the textures. Um, Try using the one I gave you with this lesson, but if you want to use multiple textures uh, from previous lessons, just please stick with all the textures from our classes. And I can't wait to see your dreamy images. I just love looking at them. They're so beautiful. We've gone from drama images being beautiful to dreamy being beautiful. So get out there and be dreamy.